Ever wondered in like simple anime coloring with the little tricks here and there to indicate whether a character is in a certain environment, whether it be daytime, nighttime, or depending on what environment it is, that can indicate how the character should be colored, or at least lighting wise. In this video, we're going to go over very simplified tricks. You can go further here and add more sauce to what you do, but I'm going to make it simple here so you guys kind of get the gist and you'll be able to experiment on your own, having fun, creating art, and also making your work look even more professional. And we start off with flat colors. As you can see, there's no shading, there's none of that, no cell shading, none of that. And that's how you're going to start every time, at least with this simple, easy approach. There are other ways to do it, but we'll save that for other videos. Simple stuff. Let's start with daytime. So let's create a roughly painted background of the sky and put that together and try to make this character actually fit that setting. Again, we're not trying to be too realistic. We just want a typical mainstream anime touch. If you wanted to be realistic, there's a lot more you could do. But here are the key things to watch out for when putting this together. The sky is blue, so therefore there would be like a blue tone to the character, right? But nothing too powerful to kind of overpower the original flat colors. Even in the backgrounds with those kind of green, I don't know if they're trees or mountains, whatever they are. But if you notice, there's like atmospheric pressure, so the further the mountain is in the distance, it looks even more blue. But that's just part of the lighting, and that's because of the environment, right? So even though that's green, there is still a tint of blue, like a touch of blue on it, making it a little teal. And that's because of the blue skies. It's almost like the light is hitting it. Then again, like a sunlight gradient, very light yellow coming from above. Reduce the opacity to how much intensity you want. And that will be above everything on its own layer. You can play around with the blending mode to find what fits. A good thing for you guys, and this is something you guys should do on your own to experiment, is experiment with the blending mode. See what each one does and see how you like it, right? If you look, a lot of digital artists color differently and use different blending modes for whatever. So you guys can actually sit down and find what works best for you. But here I'm actually not even touching it much. Maybe use light or normal, but reduce the opacity, maybe overlay, it depends. But that's above everything. Then I'm adding that blue tone, but I only want it on the character because the background, I've already kind of painted the background with that in mind. Hence why, even though the mountain maybe or the tree, whatever is in the background is supposed to be green, I gave it a touch of teal, a touch of blue. So I've already kind of done it for the background, so I don't want to do it again. So I just want to have it be on the character, and so I clip it to the character. And then I reduce the opacity. It wouldn't be too intense in this case because it's daytime. You don't want to overpower the original colors at all. And then using that same color, that same blending mode, here the blending mode I'm using for that mood layer was called a linear burn. But then I have another layer, also linear burn, the same color. It's kind of like a saturated blue towards the right on the wheel and kind of in the middle between the lights and the darks. And I'm using the exact same color to shade, except on this shading layer, the opacity is a little higher. So for the mood layer, maybe I go 10%, 15%. Here, for the shading, I go 30%, 40%. It kind of depends on you and how intense the lighting is. And that's pretty much the gist of it for daytime. And daytime is pretty easy. It can get a little more complicated. Let's say if it was really, really hot outside, maybe rather than going with the blue, I would have gone with the yellow, because even though the sky is blue and all, maybe the sunlight is so intense that the mood color rather than the blue, we would have gone with an orange, right? But if the skies were still blue, then the shading might have been blue. It can get really complicated, but just to simplify things for beginners, for you guys, this works. This is fun. And that is daytime. Usually all this stuff is done during compositing, and that compositing can be done in After Effects. So sometimes the animation will be done and they look normal with none of the smoothie stuff going on. It's all done in the compositing stage for the animating. So they don't really worry about this stuff too much during the animating phase, or like, when you're laying down the flats. It depends on the studio, it depends on how they're working, their workflow, all of that good stuff. But generally, it's all done during compositing. Now before we do my approach for nighttime, shout out to Skillshare. I've partnered up with Skillshare to bring you guys this video, trying to make 2020 a big year where you explore and deepen existing passions, like all sorts of art, especially the ones you can find on this channel, like animation, comics, all forms of sequential arts, and more. Just get lost in creativity with Skillshare's online classes. Good chance what you find on there would inspire you or surprise you, or both. Skillshare is an online community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore and projects to create and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare helps you accomplish real growth, offering classes for real life and furthering your creative journey without putting your life on hold. With short classes to fit your busy routine ranging from animation to comics, character design, illustration, cooking, the list goes on. I'm not just saying that for the video. There are classes that I've taken and some that I'm currently taking, like the Simple Character Lip Sync by Fraser Davidson, and it kind of just goes into detail about how to rig the mouth and how to lip sync and animation and things of that nature. Coming in really handy because I'm this close to having some animation stuff on the channel. And don't worry guys, Skillshare is very affordable, especially when compared to in-person classes and workshops. With a monthly subscription of $10 a month, I highly recommend it. And the first 1,000 people to use my link in the description get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. You're welcome. Now for nighttime, same approach, but now we're going to have our little rough background painting for the nighttime. As you can see, the character does not fit that night. It's almost like if it fit, then maybe there's a light right above the character right there, a very bright fluorescent light, but even that doesn't work. There's still other things to help, I guess, composite this frame to make it look better. So right now it doesn't fit. Same approach, linear burn, similar to the blue from before. I'm even going to copy and paste the shading from before as well. But here, rather than having the mood be, 15% or whatever, we want it to be dark. So we're going to increase the intensity of that layer to 60, 70. It's up to you and the environment. We're keeping it blue because the sky, even though it's dark, is still kind of bluish, purpley, violet-y. If it was nighttime, but somehow the skies were green, then green is probably the color you'd be looking for. To make things a little more interesting, I'm going to throw in another character for my series. Don't want to spoil too much, so I don't want to give away too much details on that. But I'm going to have this light source, and I just colored it in white, and then on a separate layer, playing with the blending mode, finding what works for me to make the character glow the right way. Also coming in with a warm light. It's like an extra light source. We got to do this with an airbrush, and this layer is kind of above everything. It's even above the line art layer. The same way we had that sunlight from above in daytime, this is another light source, so it'll kind of be above the layers as well. And here you can even go a step further, which some anime do, which we could have done in daytime as well, which is to add highlights. And this will be an extra layer, another layer above everything, playing around with the blending mode, maybe add glow, color dodge, depends on what you're going for. It depends on what kind of light as well. So you guys can go study the different kinds of lights that are out there and their characteristics, and that'll kind of help you decide on what blending modes to use, how intense you want things to be, and all that. You're not gonna watch one tutorial and get it all, but hopefully this video kind of breaks things down a little bit for you guys. And so on this highlight layer, I reduce the opacity to what I want, and then I just kind of go over the character in some places where I know light would really hit the character. You see stuff like this a lot in anime like Attack on Titan. And then we're gonna have an opposite thing where we have a gradient from below, similar in that, dark blue vibe. Linear burn as well. There'll be a gradient from below that just kind of gives a little more oomph to the light source. So it's kind of dark around the edges, and it just makes everything look a little more professional. At least what you'd see in an anime screenshot. Once you're done with it all, there's something called diffusion that's kind of done in compositing, and this is where it almost looks like a real anime screenshot. To a degree, it already looks that way, but this kind of helps solidify things. Is where you select all the layers, you duplicate the layers, and merge them into one layer. You can easily do that at the top under layers, and then merge into a new layer. Merge selected layers into a new layer. And then it'll just be above everything. Select the whole canvas. Add a Gaussian blur, Gaussian blur. I don't know. I have no interest in learning how to actually pronounce that thing. Whatever. Put it at 30, and then change that layer's blending mode to lighten, and then reduce the opacity. The opacity is like really high, like in the hundreds. It kind of looks like, you know, those scenes in anime where it looks like a memory. So just reduce it to like a 30, 40%, and it'll do what you want. Unless you want it to look like a flashback or something like that, and then it can be, you know, maybe 60%, 70%, 80, 90, whatever. Probably not 90. And we're actually going to be doing this for both day and night. The same drawing, the same flats, but altering some of the coloring and the lighting to make it fit the environment. That's how people can go animate something separately without even knowing how the background will look completely, but they can go animate something, not worrying about the lighting or the coloring or anything like that. And then there's another team that worries about all that coloring stuff, a team that worries about all the compositing stuff and diffusion and stuff like that. Because you can always make it work in post. You know, we'll fix it in post. And that's how it's done. Again, this is very simplified. I could do more complex ones, or I can try out new different environments that will be interesting to look at. New different kinds of light sources that have different characteristics, so you have to keep the blending mode stuff in mind. We'll see a lot of that, especially if you guys like this video, enjoy this video. Leave comments if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help. Hit the bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. Holy go smash that subscribe button, check out my comic again. Links to everything you could possibly need will be in the description below, as well as my social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. Again, shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Check out some more videos. It's White Manga, and I'm outie.